this world today. When the question was asked, I began to cry. I cried uncontrollably and my words were lost. The pain, heartbreak, and emotions from all the hours upon days of brutality that I've seen time and time again began to flow down my face. What is it like? She's just a baby in this world today, but I fear for her future. I see my daughter, her beautiful black skin, her little tight ringlets of curly hair, and the most beautiful brown eyes I've ever looked into. I see her, and she's amazing. She is fearless, bold, and absolutely stunning. She's extremely smart, her heart is big, and she is a leader. From the moment I held her in my arms, I had no doubt that one day she would change the world. What is it like to be a white mother raising a black child? To be honest, the weight of the question alone is almost too much to bear in this world today, and sadly years upon years before it. I have to acknowledge that I will never know or fully understand what it's like to walk a day in her skin. I have to acknowledge my white privilege and know that it won't be extended to my daughter. I can no longer pretend that my daughter is safe like her brothers and sisters. I have to acknowledge that one day people may be in fear of her, her friends, her husband, and maybe even one day her children. My daughter is only 7, but it is my duty as her mother to prepare her for a world that looks different from mine simply because her skin is shades darker than mine. I have to find the words to have the hard conversations and explain to her that this world is full of hate and ugliness, and sadly the hearts and minds of some people are filled with so much of it that she could and most likely will one day be judged solely by the color of her skin. I have to teach my child the proper way for her to handle herself when being pulled over, exercising in her own neighborhood, driving and getting caught in a traffic jam, simply standing on the street, or sitting in her car. For her own safety, I have to teach her to be braver, work harder, be stronger, and to think smarter than those around her. I have to pray and pray harder than I ever have before. All of these things because her precious life depends on it. I cannot imagine this world without my daughter. I cannot imagine seeing my daughter tased, shot, or gasping for air for over 8 minutes while begging for her parents. She deserves more from us. The black community has every right to demand more from us. I see you and I hear you. I hear the pain and anguish your loved ones scream as the white mother with a black child. I can't breathe. I will do better in equipping my daughter, but also do my part by educating all my children and giving them the tools and the confidence to open a line of communication and ask the questions, extend a helping hand, and to show compassion and love before judgment and hate to those who may not look like them. I will demand nothing less from all of them to be part of the solution and not part of the problem so that we can create lasting change for years to come. I will tell you what I won't do. I will not pretend that this world is not full of ignorance. I will not sit quietly in fear of saying the wrong thing. I will not carry hate in my heart for anyone, including those of any race or job title, based upon the tragic acts of a few. I will not pretend that the injustices I see are anything new or simply are not there. You will not hear me undermine the decades of struggle of the African American community by saying that all lives matter. This is what I will do, and I'm begging you on behalf of my daughter and all the sons and daughters like her that you do the same. I will put boots to the ground and demand change. Ask those around me to search their hearts until they see my daughter and those that look like her through clear lenses and not through those that are stained by the world and generations before them. My prayers to my God, who wonderfully and perfectly made each and every one of us, will be heard. I will proudly stand with my daughter and our community and demand change, and that injustices be held accountable without pause. We cannot change the past, but we do not have to accept the behavior moving forward. And as a village helping to raise all the children around us, we can do better and be better. I want my daughter to know that her community sees her without fear and prejudice, that my child knows she can walk amongst your children wearing a hoodie without hesitation. I want for all of us in the small town of Vinita, Oklahoma to be the place that shines the brightest in the midst of the darkness that fights to cover the world. Being Finley's mother is an honor and a privilege I do not take lightly, and I will continue to do my part as a white mother raising a black child in this world until my daughter doesn't have to hold a sign that says her life matters, because the world will already know